Ball is down. The referee just lining them up. Mo Arshad pointing things. Oh, sorry, that's Mike Sullivan. No. Mike Gillen comes up with the ball off the face-off, off a violation by Brody Burkhoff, and Toronto will start with the first possession. Nick Grasby will toss it up to the top. Michael Teeter. Teeter hasn't really found his stride yet, but he is very talented. We'll see if he can get it going today. Dustin Caravello has. He passes the ball over to Seth Laidlaw. Laidlaw takes the first shot of the game. Ryan Masters with a foot save. Straight out to Brendan Muse along the boards. Ball moving around the outside for the Monarchs. Now Teeter has it. He looks like he wants to let one fly. Right up top, sidearm shot. Master stops that one, and Burkhoff flattens Teeter just as he releases that shot. Here comes Peterborough the other way with their first offensive opportunity of the day. Heading for the net, the shot and the save by Snow. It's a goal. Opening things up. What a break. I believe that's, we're going to have to take a look and see when he turns around. I believe it's Colton Armstrong. Save at one end, a couple saves at one end, and then down the floor and a goal just 51 seconds into this contest. Toronto starts with possession once again. Bounces away from Jordan Critch, but Joe Wasson not close enough to give him much trouble. Wasson will track back on defense, and Luke Laidlaw will set up inside the restraining line. He's watched by Riley Campbell. Comes back out up top. Grasby moves it across the far side. There's a shot and a goal. Luke Laidlaw finds a hole on the far side, tucks it just inside the post. Ryan Masters flips it back over to the official, and it is all tied up. And having a bit of a race in goal scoring here this year with each other for the Toronto Monarchs. Ball's picked up by Garrett Lewis, passes it ahead, but it just skips off of Zach Thompson's stick, or he was all alone on top of Steve Fryer. Teeter running across the far side, gets away from his defender, Brett Coons. Seth Laidlaw rolls into the middle, wide open, shoots, misses. It's going to bounce out. Armstrong tried to take an angle at it, but wasn't able to get there, so Muse gets it over to Seth Laidlaw. His pass goes awry as he is banged, and Coons is running the other way. Sorry, it's Cam Crow with the ball there. We'll get it over to Caleb Wiles. Wiles avoids a couple of checks, starts to go to the net. Caravello and McGordy double teaming him. Wiles to the floor. Now the ball bounces out. McNulty was the first man on it, but it gets just a bit too far away from him. Here come the Monarchs the other way. Caravello running the floor. Motions Luke Laidlaw over to the side now. Passes it to him. Shoots, save. Nice play by the Monarchs, but Masters stops the chance. Nick Finley, breakout player for the Timbermen, gets it ahead. Scooped up nicely, back to Finley, scores! What a beauty! Give and go play with Brett Coons. Gillen rips the ball out, but it actually sits down and it's scooped up. There's a bouncer right there by Jason Crawford, can't get it through. Rebound though, picked up by Matt Pelkey. Pelkey's pass is knocked away as Finley gets a stick-on-stick contact, and Brody Burkhoff comes up with the ball. He's going to just trot over mid-floor and hand it off and head to the bench. Dan Mickle moves it. Cole McWilliams gets over to the far side. Josh Wasson tries to hit Mickle with the pass, but that's too far. McWilliams tracks it down. Comes up top to Wasson. 9 on the shot clock for the Timbermen. They'll try and create something. That shot by Cam Garland goes well over the net. Bounces for an over and back call. Once again, the Arena Lacrosse League does play NLL rules, except for a couple of exceptions, so that is an over and back in effect. Also an 8-second count to get over mid-floor. Muse at the top. Teeter gets it back. Pass to the middle to Seth Laidlaw. Hard pass across and give and go. Nice sliding save by Masters. Monarchs getting the ball moving back and forth across the floor, but Masters equal to the task. He has been very sharp over the last few weeks for Peterborough. Gave up 13 goals last week in a loss to Six Nations, but boy, the Snipers have really gotten their offense rolling as they sit atop the standings, as we mentioned, at 7-3. We're 4 minutes into the first quarter. 2-1 still the score for Peterborough. Mickle backpedaling. Pass across, sub shot there by Matt Croak. Croak returning for his first game since being injured earlier in the season. Certainly the Timbermen happy to have their captain back on the floor. His first scoring chance doesn't come to fruition, but he'll get some more shots through the course of the day. Seth Laidlaw down to Grasby. Toronto just getting their 5th player on the floor. It's Gage Board. He'll take it and pass it off immediately to Laidlaw. Runs across the top. Luke Laidlaw hands it off to Critch. Sorry, that's Teeter. He's still got it. A sidearm shot. Masters gets it. It trickles through, but Finley was there to pick it up. Finley doing it at both ends of the floor, the goal at one end, and then saving a goal right there as it looked like it was about to trickle over the line. Alternate captain Dan Mickle takes the pass. Lobs it over to Wasson. McWilliams goes to the net, bouncer into the feet of Fryer. No problem with that one. McWilliams has been good for a goal every game basically for Peterborough. Doesn't do a lot of flashy stuff, but man, he is a hard worker. There's a shot, and that one's right through the legs of Masters as Jordan Critch just loaded up and ripped it into a spot to tie things up at 2-all. And I'm Steven Stamp. This is Arena Lacrosse League action. Burkhoff pulls it out, and Joe Wasson comes up with the ball. He's got 3 Monarchs around him. Nicely bounces it through to Finley, but it skips away from him. Finley just missed that ball, but fortunately for him, Caleb Wiles was the closest man to it and took it off the boards. Croak, wearing number 21 today. You might have him, you'll see him on the score sheets on the Timbermen's stats as number 7. That's what he was wearing earlier in the year, but he is in 21 today. 3 seconds left, so smart play there by Patrick Miles to just protect the ball and let the shot clock run out. Luke Laidlaw, his cousin, is going to set a pick for him. They try the pick and roll, but pretty nice job by Thompson to tie up Seth Laidlaw. May have had a bit of a hold on the stick, but more of a clamp with his arm. Peterborough gets the ball back. Garrett Lewis will hand it off to McWilliams. Lewis is going to stay and play offense. Getting ready to set a pick on McGordy. McWilliams up top, and Wasson will come over to the near side. McNulty was going to shovel pass, goes to the middle instead. McWilliams tries to hit Lewis, and it looks like we're going to have a holding call against Toronto. Dustin Caravello, Patrick Miles, Cody McLeod, and Jordan Critch will be killing the penalty for Toronto. Josh Wasson and Matt Croak over on the right side. Caleb Wiles, the lefty at the top. McNulty, and I believe it's Dan Mickle down low. Wiles to Croak, kind of handcuffed him, but he did catch it. Now Wiles fires and scores, bounces one just inside the post. Caleb Wiles finding his spot. You say Brody Burkhoff was trapping on the faceoff, so it'll be Toronto possession. Patrick Miles will hand it off to Brendan Muse and head to the bench. Teeter back to Muse. Seth Laidlaw trying to slip back door. Does so. Just gets seen by Joe Wasson at the last second and then winds up throwing the ball away. Great chance for Toronto. It looked like Wasson may have just disrupted the timing of it enough that the pass had to go a little deep and Laidlaw didn't have a shooting angle. Then his pass rolls all the way down the floor and Caleb Wiles will pick it up and start possession. Spencer Janes all over Wiles. He spins, shoots. Stopped by Steve Fryer. He's looking up the floor. First man is Seth Laidlaw off the bench, and Fryer just kind of throws it into the corner. Fryer running tight on his 5-second count to get out of the crease. So he just flung it, and Garrett Lewis comes up with the ball. Nice Lucy by him. Big bump along the boards there by Laidlaw, but Lewis gets it there and shoots. Wiles is stopped, goes after his own rebound. Fryer gets there just before he can, and here come the Monarchs the other way. Crow coming off the bench. Commits, and Jordan Critch almost made him pay. Ryan Masters pulls it back in. Big opening for the Monarchs, but Crow got there and stepped ahead. Looked like Critch might have a good chance, but ball actually kind of bounces away. Peterborough setting up with a delayed penalty coming to the Monarchs, so Josh Wasson's going to wait till they get 6 attackers. They've got 13 left on the shot clock. Plenty of time to make something happen. Garland vacates the top so Wiles can take that spot. Goes to Mickle down low, skips away. Oh, bounces to Jeff McNulty. The rebound bounces loose. It's still, now it's in the stick of Croak. Janes on him, Critch is there. Ball pops out, and play will be blown down. So it's going to be another penalty to the Monarchs. Peterborough with one power play goal to go ahead 3-2. We'll have another chance as Adam McGordy once again goes to the box. Illegal cross-checking to Adam McGordy. Peterborough back to the power play, and Caleb Wiles will start at the top again. McNulty and Mickle on the left side. Croak and Wasson down low on the right side. Carvello and Critch have been very effective on the penalty kill. Scored a number of shorthanded goals. Cody McLeod way out by the restraining line. Forces an errant pass from Croak, and it bounces into the Toronto bench. The Monarchs will get possession. 17 seconds gone in the penalty, so Toronto will be able to kill some more of it. They lob it up to Seth Laidlaw. 3 righties out for the Monarchs. Gage Board takes the pass. People are playing a pretty passive penalty kill right now, letting the Monarchs stay out by the boards. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Board starts to go in towards the middle. Passes it across. Nice catch by Luke Laidlaw. Riley Campbell on him. That one goes off the post. And Toronto gets it back. It almost went out of play up into the mesh, but just bounced off the glass. So Toronto keeps it. Luke Laidlaw has it, and Toronto can kill another 30 here. Lob pass across the board. Teeter is out now, so there are 2 lefties and 2 righties. Board thought about the short pass to Seth Laidlaw. Hangs on to it instead. Lewis D'ing him up. Getting on the hands with the chops. Oh, that ball just tipped by Joe Wasson, or Luke Laidlaw may have been in alone. Back door just slipped away from Eric Schul. Had half a step or less, but it looked like enough to get the ball through. But Wasson just getting the edge of his stick on it. Peterborough with 33 seconds left in the power play. Lots of time for this possession. Wiles slows it down as Mickle comes out to join. Backpedaling. Looking at Croak's going to pull it down and make the pass down low to Wasson instead, but didn't get through. Ball flung ahead. Caravello trying to track it down, just skips away from the end of his stick. Shot clock expires on Peterborough, so Caravello picks it up. Toronto gets possession. Would have been an over and back or a shot clock anyway. Matt Croak tips that one away, holds on to it with one hand. Thought about going behind the back, now he does. And Peterborough gets the ball into the offensive zone. Well, we are at 5-on-5. The penalty to McGordy is over, and he is out chasing Cole McWilliams. McWilliams lofts one over to Jeff McNulty. He's on his offside. McWilliams thinking about the shot, passes it, quick release by Mickle on the sidearm. But that one gets by wide of the net. Thought it touched the goalie, but the ref's not indicating a reset. Of course, they're right down there, so good view for them. Wasson to McWilliams. Oh, there was a reset. Now we're at 18 on the shot clock. There's a shot. Fryer gets it. Doesn't seem to know where it is, but Grasby scoops it up. Looking for the long pass. Going to settle for the short one instead. Oh, there's a pass to Laidlaw right in the middle. Boy, Toronto's had some chances, but just haven't been able to click. That one, nobody tipped. It just didn't get to the stick of Seth Laidlaw as Jordan Critch tried to set him up. Croak runs around the far side. Little pick by Wiles on McLeod. McLeod responds with a bit of a swing to the leg. Little chop. Wasson up top outside the restraining line. Cam Garland's going to shoot. Bouncer. Fryer went down. The bouncer went up high and almost got over him. Just caught Fryer's shoulder. Toronto running the floor. And officials blow play down as Fryer has some equipment issues. Has to fix his helmet. You can see just a little space. Still 3-2 Peterborough as we hit the 2.5-minute mark to play here. There's a shot, Nicole. That one's good, no question. How about crease on that one as Luke Laidlaw runs the middle. Another face-off battle. Nice one-hand pickup by Finley, and then it pops away from him. He tries to grab it again and loses it. Ball still being contested. McGordy ran into Finley, and then Brody Burkhoff with a cross-check to the back of McGordy. No penalty called. And now Joe Wasson is giving Matt Pelkey a shove that almost sent him into the Peterborough players bench. Burkhoff comes up with the ball, pops out momentarily, but he does recover it. Peterborough loses the ball for a second. Colton Armstrong had it. He gives a bit of a whack to the arm of Cody McLeod, but Toronto's got the ball, a long pass ahead. Critch, one-on-one, beats his man. Absolutely turnstiles Riley Martinell. Martinell recovers to get a bit of a push on him just as Critch takes the shot. It misses, and Peterborough's back the other way. Eric Schul with the ball. Crawford all over him. Schul protects it nicely in one hand. Low pass, but it's bent over and picked up by Croak. Backdoor to Caleb Wiles, doesn't connect. Here comes Toronto back the other way. McGordy going for a run. Goes to the net. Shoots near side. Gets it. Goal. Adam McGordy got tied up in Masters. And Joe Wasson is arguing with the official. And what I would guess he is arguing is that ball may have been tied up down. Very close call. It will go for a 4-3 lead for the Monarchs. We enter the final minute of play in the first quarter. It's been a back and forth battle. We expected a good one today, and it has been good. Miles going to the net. He shoots 5-hole. Masters stops that one. And Masters gives Miles a little pat as he heads up the floor. Nick Finley running with it. Nobody there to help him, so he's going to wait, and then Cole McWilliams, first man off the bench, gets the ball. Swim move by McGordy, shoots into the chest of Steve Fryer. Peterborough may have been going for the 2-for-1 there. A lot of teams do like that shot in the 40 to 50 second range to try and get the ball back for the last possession of the quarter. See what Toronto can do with their possession. Teeter, little fake, shovel pass, doesn't get to Critch. Masters gets it, and Peterborough will get the last possession of the quarter. Lewis takes the pass. And Peterborough's going to take their timeout. 16.7 to go in the first quarter. 4-3 Monarchs, Timbermen with the ball. Matt Croak will run back to start with it. Josh Wasson is setting up on the left side as a righty. Maybe trying to confuse him a little. Dustin Caravello is smiling at him. I think suggesting we know what you're doing. Croak spins. 7 on the shot on the game clock. 5. Pass across. Mickle gets a shot off. Saved by Fryer. Foot stop. Spencer Janes gets the ball. Tries to flick it over his head towards the empty net. Unsuccessful. Would have been pretty spectacular if he'd managed it. It wouldn't have got there in time, though. Gillen down to one knee. Burkhoff to one knee. Whistle blows. Both players have a pretty quick lock on there. Nobody can quite get it, but Finley gets the ball as it pops out. He's going to go to the net. Gets stripped, but gets it back. Tough break for the Monarchs as they double team Finley, knocked the ball loose, but it bounced right in front of him. He gets it, and Caleb Wiles now setting up. Wasson to Croak. Croak with the pass behind the net. Just soars a little bit high for Caleb Wiles. And here comes Miles back the other direction. He'll run over center and stop. Grasby goes to the boards and Muse immediately to Teeter. Burkhoff out on him. Timbermen have obviously been told not to give too much space to the shooters up top. Big pick by Teeter. They come out to Grasby. That one looked like it might have been tipped. Got down low on Masters. He adjusted and got it. And the Timbermen come up with the loose ball. Long pass to Mickle. McGordy comes out on him. Foot save Fryer. That's going to go right up over the mesh as it bounced high. Nice outlet pass by Peterborough to get a break there. Zach Thompson making the pass. There's Garland with the shot. That one's stopped by Fryer. He swallows it up. Has to pull it out of the gear. Caravello running the floor. Muse goes down along the boards. And LeBlanc tries to get a pass through. Going up and catching it with one hand was Dustin Caravello. Luke Laidlaw's shot didn't get much on it as Cam Crow met him. Now he's got a back shoot, saved by Masters this time. That's going to be a back in. Nice heads-up play by LeBlanc. Tyler LeBlanc forcing that turnover, and he'll go and start with possession. Gives it to Muse. Muse gets it back from Laidlaw. 3 Lakers in a line. He tries to get it through LeBlanc, who is slipping in behind that line. Doesn't get to him, but they recover. Now Laidlaw rolls across the top. A little hitch. Now he makes the pass to his cousin Luke. Seth Laidlaw kind of jumps in the air and runs into a brick wall of Cam Crow. That shot's just over the top. Looked like Muse had a little space. but he just misses the top of it. We're 2:05 into the second quarter, and Josh Wasson will start with possession for Peterborough. Wiles on his offside. Croak gives it back to him. Wiles lets it go. Saved by Fryer. Fryer had to be alert as Wiles kind of shot that from the middle of nowhere. Trying to catch him off guard. Doesn't connect. Cody McLeod will hand it off to Nick Grasby, and the offense sets up for Toronto. They lead 4-3, 2.5 minutes into the second. Critch making some moves, or Teeter moving away from the boards. Seth Laidlaw surveying, takes the shot as there's only 4 seconds left in the shot clock. The rebound bounced straight out to Muse, but he was stopped. And here comes Finley the other way. Finley just gliding down the floor, saved by Fryer. They keep going down on that right foot side. And that pass gets away from the Monarchs. Zach Thompson is stuck in no man's land, breaks through the double team. Great job by Thompson. Not the biggest guy, but a big heart on Zach Thompson. There's a shot. They go for the same spot, and that one almost found its way. I'm going to say over and back. It did not touch Fryer as Croak missed the net. Croak showing a little rust after having some time off. Toronto gets their offensive personnel out, and Grasby throws it down to Laidlaw. Hughes gives it off to Luke Laidlaw. Everyone picked up, but Crow falls. A bunch of moves. What a save by Masters. Laidlaw with several fakes, but Masters gets the arm up. Here comes Garrett Lewis the other way, looking for someone to pass it to. It's actually Riley Campbell, and he does eventually bounce it to Dan Mickle. Wiles has it along the far boards. Mickle takes it up top. Shoots, scores! Goes to the left foot this side this time and finds a hole. 11:03 to go. It is all tied up 4-4. Gillen and Burkhoff again. They've been taking every draw so far today. Grinding on this one. Gillen pulls it out to himself, flips it over and has a little trouble getting it. Now he's going to the net. Shoots, scores! Gillen wins the draw, flips it over to himself, runs in alone, and immediately responds to the Mickle goal. And here we go again, just seconds after the last face-off. Another grind, and Burkhoff pulls this one out, but it goes straight to Jordan Critch. Critch watched by Lewis. No direct lane to the net for the Monarchs this time. They'll set up on offense. Teeter looked to Critch, not there, so goes over to Laidlaw. Sure, that was Board who gave it to Laidlaw. He bounced it off the post and in. So Laidlaw bangs it off the iron, off the back of Master. Peterborough could really use a possession here. Burkhoff will try to get the ball for them. Gillen locked down on it, pulled it back, but it went straight to Brett Coons. He tries to get it to Lewis, who does get control, and Peterborough was set up on the offense. Cole McWilliams looked back to Lewis, saw he was covered, and decided to go over to Wiles. Lewis is going to head off and get another offensive player on. Wiles hits Garland, who was open on a look to the net, but didn't quite secure the ball in time. Zach Thompson gets there and knocks that ball away from Patrick Miles. And then Wasson just taps it along over to Thompson, and Peterborough comes up with possession again. Thompson running. It's 4-on-3, 5-on-3. Finley, trying to hit Williams on the back, McWilliams on the back door. And instead, Toronto's back the other way, Caravello. Penalty coming to Peterborough. So Toronto's going to hold on while Fryer makes his way to the bench. Just a terrific play there by Jason Crawford to get his stick on that ball. Eliminate what would have been a great 5-on-3 chance. And that one's tipped away by Thompson, goes to Masters. He had to be alert to get that one. And we're going to have, so here goes Toronto to the power play, leading 6-4 with 9:18 to go in the first half. Teeter and Laidlaw playing catch. Goes over to Seth Laidlaw. Grasby looks from low. Nothing he likes. Goes back up top. Teeter, low shot. Masters swallows it up. He's got a breaking Finley. Finley doesn't catch it. Now he does. He's got Wasson ahead of him. He's going to shoot. Misses the net, but Wasson will track down the rebound. He takes a look. 2 Monarchs between him and the net. So Wasson slows it down and will try and kill some time. 15 left on the shot clock for Peterborough as Finley's shot missed the net. Garrett Lewis has the ball. Pressure on him up top. There's Wasson in the slot. He's getting pushed out by Cody McLeod. Now they move it up into the front half of the floor, and we'll set up again on the power play. Lots of time in the penalty for them. 19 on the shot clock, and they're going to say too many on Toronto. And pass towards Wiles doesn't get through. It's scooped up by Caravello. He's looking up the floor. Miles runs onto it. Coons meets him there. But Miles gets it across to Muse. There's Seth Laidlaw. Thought about slipping around the far side, but Finley had a look at him. Or Coons did. That's Finley now. Checking Muse. Gets up to Laidlaw. Toronto with 7 on the shot clock. Just finished making a change. That shot goes off the post, the crossbar. And Toronto will get it back. Buzzer sounded because one of the shot clocks didn't reset. That shot is stopped, and now there's going to be a fresh reset. Peterborough has a man up the floor. Finley. McLeod's out to meet him. Finley gets a shot off the foot of Fryer, but another stop. Finley's had some chances this game. So far hasn't been able to bury since that first one, the 2-on-1. The give-and-go play he ran with Brett Coons earlier. Caravello hands it off with 22 on the shot clock. Toronto will go to penalty kill mode as Peterborough is back at full strength. 15 on the shot clock. Timberman not pressing as Grasby stands up near the top. 7 minutes to go. Next stoppage, we will have our officials' timeout. Peterborough with 1 power play goal already today. That was Caleb Wiles when they just left him some space up top. He let it rip from the very top. He has the ball now, and we're back underway. Almost. Steve Fryer just making sure he was set, and now we're underway. Wiles gets it back at the top. McNulty down to Mickle. Mickle gets it back. Wasson drifting out to the righty shooter spot. They take that lane away. Nice job by McLeod to get in that lane. So they go to the middle. Can't quite connect with Croak. The pass out is picked off by Wiles. Caravello is a step too far. McNulty gets it down low. Oh, Croak just couldn't handle it. He spins back the other way. 23 on the shot clock. He shoots low. Fryer, foot save. Now Toronto's going to make sure they get the ball out over mid-floor as Miles just runs it away from Caleb Wiles. Wiles goes back to play defense. There's Muse. Nice twister. Gets Masters going to his right and comes back to the goalie's left. Tucks it inside the post. And Wasson just kind of flicks that ball back. It'll be picked up by Riley Campbell. No over and back, even though Wasson played it in the forecourt and went back to the back quarters until possession is established. There's no over and back off the faceoff. Garland has it on the far side, watched by Gillen. Wasson back up top. Mickle gives it right back to him. Wasson thought about going low, rolls to the middle, shoots. Saved by Fryer. McWilliams forechecking Gillen, but he does get the pass off. And McGordy will take it over center. Bounce it. Now McGordy's going to stay and play offense as Gage Board runs along the boards. McGordy setting a pick. Board passes across. Muse has it dialed in. He rips that one over the far shoulder of Masters. Gillen comes up with the ball off the faceoff, and the Monarchs have the 8-4 lead. And they have the ball again. Seth Laidlaw steps around the pick by Grasby. Grasby sets another one. Teeter misses near side. That's going to go over and back. And the Peterborough players will just head to the bench and let the offense go and set up. Under 5 minutes to go here in the half. McNulty will start with the ball. Caravello is going to pick him up. Play blown back in, and Wiles takes it at the top. Croak goes underneath. That pass on the far side, and a couple of fakes, but Mickle just couldn't find any space. Fryer had the near side covered, and Mickle couldn't reach to the far side. Saved by Fryer. Caravello takes it back up the other way. Caravello still with the ball. Now he hands it off to Laidlaw. Laidlaw backpedaling. Spins off the check. All the righties are covered. He's going to run around the top and get it over to Luke Laidlaw. That pass to Muse doesn't get through, but it skips through Zach Thompson. Eventually, though, Eric Schul comes up with it. He's got Cam Crow running the floor. Crow's going to peel off now. Schul will hit McWilliams. Save Fryer. Tried to go back against the grain, but Fryer stops that one. Fryer looking really sharp here in the second quarter. He's only allowed one goal in this frame so far. But that pass doesn't connect, and Schul will just turn it back up the floor. Colton Armstrong. His pass goes straight into the stick of Nick Grasby. Nice elusive play by Patrick Miles, and he gets the ball up the floor. Caravello to Critch. Back to Caravello. Goal! Masters had part of it, but fell back into the net. The ball went back in with him. The officials are going to have a talk. No goal. They say there's a player in the crease as the ball got tied up in Masters. We'll take a look. Can't do anything about it now, but Critch throws it to Caravello. He takes the shot, then goes in. And, oh, yeah, that's absolutely the correct call as it gets tied up in Masters. And then Caravello well into the crease by the time Masters falls back into the net. Nice job by the officials to get together and confirm and get that call right. It's still 8-4. We've got 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. McNulty reaches up for the pass. Crawford on him. Croak wanted to shoot. Nothing there. Wasson will fire. Nice little arm save by Fryer. Just got a bit of it. Spencer Janes flicks it behind him. Great play. And Gillen is all alone. And Blaine McCauley's telling the rest of his team, just wait up the floor. Saved by McMaster. And Gillen steps in the crease. And Peterborough back on the offense. That's a nice look at a solid save by McMaster. Ryan Masters. I don't know where I'm coming with McMaster. Ryan Masters making the great save. Wiles starts with the new possession for Peterborough. McWilliams quickly down. Croak trying to go underneath. Sean Gillies repels his advance. Wiles. Pass to McWilliams just up off the top of his stick. McWilliams was kind of bent over. Long outlet pass. Critch knocked over by Armstrong but holds on to the ball. Caravello's going after Armstrong, still talking to him. Still kind of working him over with his stick, having a chat with him. Now Caravello's going to pop out and try and get open. Takes the ball, and Armstrong's going to check him. Goes underneath. Armstrong knocks him down. Caravello shoots, lands in the crease, and it's going to be Peterborough possession. Garrett Lewis running with the ball. Cross floor pass to Mickelin is offside. He just runs out to the top and hands it off to Wiles. McNulty's open. Mickle wants to shoot, does, scores. They tried that spot on Fryer several times, and this time it works. Again, Burkhoff and Gillen. Gillen down early on that one and gets it. Pops it out to himself, rolls it over. Nice play by the faceoff man. And Sean Gillies almost stopped and backpedaled towards the center line. Would have got himself in trouble. Thought better of it and ran forward. Burkhoff gives him a big check after he passes the ball. And Peterborough's going to wind up with possession in their own end. The outlet pass is almost caught by Caravello. Just bounces off his stick, goes straight to Wiles. And the Timbermen set up. Campbell hands it off, and Peterborough's getting their fifth offensive player out. It's Garland coming late and high. Going underneath is Wiles. He loses it. Gets it back. Pass to the middle to Croak, doesn't get through. Wasson fires with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Comes to Wiles, but it's too late. No reset, and Spencer Janes goes the other way. 1:08 to play. Teeter waiting for everyone to be out there. Luke Laidlaw, the fifth man out. He's going to go and set a pick. There's a cut to the net. Muse with the hat trick goal. Brett Coons has gone out. The first time we've had somebody else taking this face off. And Coons rips it loose straight over to Burkhoff, but McGordy comes up with it instead. McGordy running away from Burkhoff. Burkhoff still trailing him from behind and gets some help. But Colton Armstrong didn't take the boards away, so McGordy's able to run out of trouble. 35 to go. Grasby watched by Campbell. 12 on the shot clock for Toronto. It's a 17-second difference. Muse, He's feeling it, and he bangs one off the far post. Almost had another one. Toronto gets it back, and they will take their timeout. Caravello will start with possession. Toronto with 6 attackers and 21.4 seconds to work with. He'll just step over center and wait for the clock to tick down. 15 to go. He and Seth Laidlaw having a little chat while they wait. 11 to go. 8, and they start to move. Muse lets it rip right into the belly pad of Masters. He lets one go to the far end. He missed substantially. It was going to be close to being there on time, but either way, it doesn't matter. No goal either way. It is 9-5 after 30 minutes of play for the Toronto Monarchs. Burkhoff and Gillen once again in the face-off circle. Brendan Muse with 3 goals leads the way for Toronto. Luke Laidlaw with 2 goals and an assist. For Peterborough, Dan Mickle has a pair of goals. Caleb Wiles a goal and 2 assists, and Jeff McNulty 3 assists. Ball bounces out away from everybody. And eventually Jordan Critch comes up with it. Joe Wasson pressuring him. Critch calmly makes the pass ahead, but it's actually a bit too far for Patrick Miles. Brody Burkhoff will get there first. He picks it up. Miles and Laidlaw try and double team him, and Burkhoff puts his head down and rumbles over center. Another double team as Critch gets on him. Burkhoff loses it as he tries to spin. Almost got away with the ball through the double team, but couldn't quite hold on to it, and Toronto sets up at the other end. Laidlaw up to Teeter, gets it back. Schul on him. Laidlaw thinking shot, tries to pass across. It was knocked down, but rolls to the boards where Caravello picks it up. Crow on him. Caravello hits the official. We'll see if Caravello gets any revenge penalties called on him from Mike Sullivan after whipping that one off his foot. Just kidding. Obviously, that's not going to happen. Bit of an odd one. Peterborough sets up in the offensive zone. Wasson hits Wiles, toe drag. McLeod picks him up, spins back around. Wiles shovel pass way out to the top. Wasson's there, shoots, bouncer stopped by Fryer. McWilliams grabs the rebound, tries to dunk it in, can't connect. Long outlet pass, Grasby all alone. Scores, Masters caught back on his goal line. And Grasby, a couple of hard fakes and bounces it through the 5-hole. Burkhoff comes up with it. In the right side of his stick and shoots, saved by Fryer. Looks like Burkhoff thought that one was in, as the net was knocked back a little bit. And again, if the net is back off the line, the goal can count, even if the ball doesn't go past the post, as long as it's past the line. But that one just bounced wide. Lewis up on Grasby, the recent goal scorer for Toronto. Sidearm pass. Laidlaw running down the far wing. Muse, low shot, has hobbled Joe Wasson, but Peterborough running the other way. Garrett Lewis with the ball. He's got Finley with him. The trailer is McNulty, who takes the pass. Thought about shooting Caravello on him. He's going to hold things up. Rolls it to Wiles. Peterborough just getting their 5th attacker on the floor. Mickle goes to Lewis, who stayed out and played offense. Gets to McNulty. Pass right on front. Twister. Goal. Caleb Wiles crossing over. Has Fryer moving to his right. Comes back to the goalie's left. And tucks that one home. Nice passing play as Lewis, you can see. Burkhoff and Gillen again. 10-6 the score now. 12:27 to go here in the third quarter. Burkhoff pulls it out. And it looks like Riley Campbell will be the first guy there. But Pelkey gets right on top of him, and Finley's actually the one to pick it up as Campbell just kind of protected the ball. Finley loping along the far side. Cuts over center. Fake leaving for McWilliams. Now McWilliams does get it from Wiles. McWilliams breaking down, steps back, throws to Mickle. Garland down low. Wiles' pass gets through. The low shot by McWilliams. Stopped by Fryer, who outlets all the way up to Jason Crawford running across mid-floor. One hopper over to Gage Board. And Teeter's going to backpedal along the side boards. Martinell watching him. Board double teamed. Ball bounces out to Laidlaw, who misses far side. And Peterborough gets possession as the shot clock expires when Muse flicks the ball backwards back into the corner so they can get the defenders out. Lewis runs it over mid-floor. Sean Gillies checking him. Here come the Monarchs the other way. Caravello, lob pass ahead to Critch. He leaves it. Beautiful play, and they finish it. They're going to say no goal. Caravello called for stepping in the crease. Oh, what a gorgeous play by the Monarchs. We'll see when his foot came down. What a play by Critch to leave it. Caravello tucks it home, and oh yeah, his foot was in early. Great heads-up call by the official. Still a beautiful play, but goes for naught. It's still 10-6 Toronto. Pass picked off by Spencer Janes. Garland races to the bench so Colton Armstrong can get out. It's 2-on-1. Finley now out there as well. And he picks up Miles immediately, so James will just hold on to it until the offensive players get there, and he gives it to Teeter. Good hustle by a couple of Timbermen to get off the floor and get the defenders out. Grasby faked me out completely as Teeter had the ball on the far side and Grasby was faking the shot. He and Schul fighting for it. Schul picks it up with 1 second left on the shot clock. It's going to work out okay, as he will run it up near mid-floor and pass it off to Colton Armstrong. Mickle takes it. Armstrong's going to stay and play offense, which is what he did mostly in minor and junior C for a few years, and then moved to defense. He's really finding a home there. But here comes Sean Gillies. He's got Laidlaw cutting the net. Lewis picks him up, takes away the lane, so they're just going to toss it up top. And Gillen will slow things down a little. Martinell way up at mid-floor. Checking Laidlaw now after leaving board. Laidlaw trying to go to the net. Stood up. Gets the ball back. Goal! Dan Mickle was back playing D. Thought he was going to get the ball and take off. Ran the other way. Martinell tried to pick up Laidlaw. Gillen thought he'd pulled it out, but the ball was still sitting there. Burkhoff can't control it, but eventually Finley does. Now it pops loose, and Gillen's got it. Runs away from the center line. Smart play to get out of trouble, but the pass doesn't connect with Miles. That's going to give Armstrong a chance to get there. He gets the ball. 3 Monarchs around him. He runs out of it, heads to the net, shoots, scores. Beautiful play. Colton Armstrong, all alone, comes back, causes the turnover, picks up the loose ball, scores the goal. I'm not sure I've ever seen a goalie change when a goalie at one end gives up a goal and the other team switches them. But Masters is actually heading down the hallway to the changing room. I think he may have called the team, the coaches, and let them know he needed to come out for some reason. Extended battle at center, and Peterborough eventually gets it. Thompson, watched by McLeod. He's going to pass to Garland, who gets it across mid-floor before the 8-second count. He's 1-on-5 and looking for help. Tries to make the pass. Not much he could do on that one, as there was nobody there to give him somewhere to pass the ball, and Toronto will start with possession. Critch hits Muse. Great work to catch the pass with Lewis all over him, but the save by Clayton. A tough one right in close for his first shot. Here's Crow. Shoots, misses the net. Hustling back was Croak, trying to get it before it went over center for the over and back. Couldn't get there in time, though, and Toronto gets possession once again. McGordy will just hand it off to Teeter. Teeter one-on-one with Coons. Pass across. Grasby steps back and leaves it there for Board. Teeter loads up, hard pass, quick release. Clayton has it, though. Stopping Caravello. Coons with the long pass right into the stick, though, of Luke Laidlaw. Grasby gets it. Foot save Clayton. Nolan Clayton's been very sharp. We're going to have a too many men call. Toronto setting up, taking their time. Shot. And the save by Clayton. He continues to be sharp. Got that between the leg and the arm. Bending over on the shot by Laidlaw. Here comes Garrett Lewis. Spins out towards the boards, and Peterborough's going to see how much time they can kill here. 15 left on the shot clock as McNulty gets it. He's going to go for a run behind the net. Tracked by McLeod, spins back, changing directions. Tries to hit the cutter, doesn't connect. 3 on the shot clock. Lewis is just going to pass it over. Wiles takes the shot just after. Oh, and they're going to say Wiles had run through the crease anyway, so he wasn't eligible to play that ball. And we're going to take the officials' timeout. Teeter faking, goes to board, but it's picked off. Finley running the floor, trying to get past Critch. Goes to the net, shoots, saved by Fryer. Finley trying to get his second of the day, a shorthander. Here come the Monarchs back the other way. That backdoor pass caught low by Board, hands it off. Teeter up top, thought about shooting, thought about it again. Backpedals does shoot with 5 left on the shot clock, and LeBlanc is going to get that rebound and another possession for the Monarchs. Still hanging on to the ball, lobs it up ahead, but not nearly far enough, and Joe Wasson has it. He's got a man ahead, passes over to Campbell, who juggles it a bit, shoots, saved by Fryer, comes straight back out to Campbell, who just avoided going through the crease, so he's able to get possession. And Peterborough will set up. They're back to even strength. They trail by 4 with 5 minutes to go in the third. Toronto has really probably controlled the best of the play, but only up by 4 goals, so always dangerous when you let a team hang around. Cam Garland trying to get one, cross-hander. That one doesn't hit the net. And McGordy's just going to let it roll until the shot clock expires. Smartly stands there in case there's a quick restart, but waits for Muse to get there and pick up the ball. Here comes Toronto. Skips away from Grasby. Schewel on him, but Grasby gets good body position, and Board picks it up. Board going for the dive, but the ball jumps out of his stick before he can jump across into the crease. And that one goes off of Laidlaw's stick down the other way. It's a turnover, and on the over and back. Garland down low. Wiles looking to see what's available. Garland sets a pick. Wiles goes to the cutter. Wasson, nice save by Fryer, who saw that one coming all the way. McLeod trying to run out of trouble. Good solid forecheck. McWilliams, it's 8-second count anyway. And Peterborough will set up in the offensive zone. Pass goes down low to Wasson. That was Colton Armstrong with the pressure. He's having himself a solid game. Wiles to Croak. Pulls it down, cuts down low, shoots, scores. Croak sees a lane, finds it, and buries it behind Fryer. It's 11-8. Removed any chance of a moving pick as he was being pushed in, and Croak just goes near side to tuck it between the foot and the post. 3:13 to go here in the third quarter. Peterborough with possession again. Armstrong will run up into the offensive zone. Josh Wasson takes the ball on the far side. We have Zach Higgins sprinting around behind us, running a few laps of the concourse to get ready for tonight's Oshawa versus Paris game. Higgins has been fabulous for the Outlaws. Croak's shot is stopped, and Fryer stays down after pouncing out on it. Definitely in discomfort. He is on his hands and knees. Fryer appears to be okay. He is back up on his feet, and Toronto will start with possession as he had grabbed the ball before he was hurt. 11-8 the score. 2.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 2:35 exactly. Muse with Burkhoff all over him. That pass does get through to Laidlaw. Lewis on him. Oh, hits the cutter, but Board can't quite grab it, and then he goes into the crease. Ball rolls off into the corner. Coons picks it up. Lewis was in no man's land there, trapped between the player and the boards, but Gillies eventually gets the ball loose, and Spencer Janes picks it up. Janes is just going to rumble over mid-floor. Bouncer back to Laidlaw. Gets it back all alone. Shoots. Saved by Nolan Clayton. Clayton has really sparked this Timberman team with some sharp goaltending. They're trying to creep back in. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. They're within 3. Sidearm pass. They have to get over center. They just beat the 8 count. And Croak is watched there by Cody McLeod. Dick tips underneath him. Fakes the pass back. Thought he might go to the net. Lane wasn't there. Nice job by Gillen to help out. That pass finds Wiles. He's going to pass it off the glass. And the shot clock will expire on the Timbermen. 1:28 to go in the third quarter. Toronto with the ball. Miles running the floor. Critch, little hinge pass. Muse is stopped by Clayton. Good opportunity, a beautiful pass by Critch. Clayton grabs that one. Short outlet pass to Schul. He's got Mickle ahead on one side. He's going to go Finley on the other. Finley to Mickle, looking for the give and go, but he's picked up nicely by Caravello. So as we enter the final minute of the third, penalty coming to Toronto, so the Timbermen getting their 6 attackers out. 10, 9, 8 on the shot clock. McNulty down low. Couple of fakes. Mickle's shot stopped by Fryer. Toronto comes up with the ball, and they're going to say goaltender interference. And it looks like Toronto's just going to let the quarter expire. Yep, Caravello just hands it over to the officials. It's 11-8 with 1:21 remaining on the Monarchs penalty. Burkhoff lining up against Patrick Miles as we're ready to start the fourth quarter. Again, the Monarchs shorthanded for another minute 21. Burkhoff pulls it out straight to Joe Wasson, and Peterborough has first possession. Nice job by Wasson to bounce it over to Finley, who'll hand it off, and the Timbermen set up on the power play. Wiles to Wasson. We've got Croak on the back door. McLeod very attentive to him down there. That's Mickle with the hard shot off Fryer. Wasson tried to stop it before it could go back over center, but it rolls all the way to Clayton. Of course, no over and back after it goes off the goalie. So Peterborough will set up again. Lots of time on the penalty. Still 40 seconds to go. They've got 25 on the shot clock. Croak takes a couple looks, gets to Wiles. Critch with some pressure high. The shot comes out, and a nice job by by Miles to just get a piece of that ball and knock it away from Matt Croak, who was going to try and scoop it and tuck it into the empty net. Caravello comes out and pressures. Great rotation by McLeod to take away the back door, and Wiles is forced to hang on to it. Caravello pushing him, throws it to Croak. He's in the crease. Both feet well in the crease and tried to play the ball. Fryer, little sidearm pass. Shovels it over to McLeod, who runs over mid-floor. Great penalty kill by the Monarchs. And they're back to full strength. Little shovel pass, and Seth Laidlaw goes to the net. Hughes waiting for everyone to get out with him. Pass high for Laidlaw, but he can get it. Goes to the net. Nice wrap check by Caleb Wiles. And the shot clock eventually expires on the Monarchs. Schul running with it up over mid-floor. Hands it off to McWilliams. Back out to Wasson. Wiles to McWilliams. It bounces away from him. Janes can't get it. Eventually they do. Jason Crawford running the floor. He's going to go to the net. 2-on-1. Passes it to Muse. Scores. Huge goal for the Monarchs as the Timbermen had some momentum going. Time. Peterborough had scored 3 of the last 4 goals, closing the margin from 10-5 to 11-8. So that one really important for Toronto to get back on the right side of things. As I mentioned earlier, Toronto in a 4-way tie for second. That pass doesn't get through. One of 4 teams in the league with 5 wins. So important to them. The game probably more important to Peterborough. With a loss, it would be their 8th. Burkhoff spins away from Caravello. Makes a pass through to McNulty and heads to the bench. All those teams tied with 5 wins, 8 losses, almost surely too many. Oh, nice pass on the crease, but McNulty can't quite put it home. Peterborough does get it back. McNulty tracks down his own rebound. Josh Wasson was at the bench, turned to come back into the play, and he has the ball now. He goes to Croak. The ball in the crease. Grasby corrals it. Fryer looking up the floor. Long pass to Caravello. Picked by McGordy. Pass backdoor. Muse with his 5th of the game. Brendan Muse on fire. 11:38 to go as the 5-goal lead for Toronto gets going. There's a tap ahead by Colton Armstrong. Finley is run over as he tries to pick up the ball. Peterborough gets possession. Second game of the doubleheader today. We'll see the Paris River Wolves facing the Oshawa Outlaws. They are 2 of the teams tied with 5 wins. McWilliams up top to Josh Wasson. Oh, Fryer just gets enough of that one, and Gillen very casually picks the ball up and then tosses it ahead. Patrick Miles running the floor, tries to shoot across to the far side, and then tries to throw a big hit at Garrett Lewis. He misses on both. Lewis hands it off to McNulty. Wiles has some room, had to double clutch, and that probably took away his angle. He hits Fryer in the belly, and here comes Crawford. He's just going to pull up, and that one's knocked down by Colton Armstrong. Armstrong all over Crawford. Not enough to draw a checking the back from behind penalty, but dogging him for sure. Teeter, lots of room, shoots, saved by Clayton. Peterborough runs out of traffic. Wiles, who's taken a few shifts defensively today. And generally, other than one shift, he's acquitted himself pretty well. Comes up with the ball there and sets up on offense. James separates Cole McWilliams from the ball. There's a lead pass from Pelkey. McGordy stopped by Clayton. Burkhoff had to change directions, loses his helmet. Oh, and he grabs McGordy by the mask, tries to pull it off. They're chucking. Burkhoff gets his arm free of his jersey. McGordy still has his helmet on. McGordy goes to the ground. The ref's grabbing Burkhoff, and they'll pull him off. Okay, so just waiting to hear the announcement. It was, here's a shot and a goal by Seth Laidlaw, the power play goal, which came on the aggressor penalty to Brody Burkhoff. So Toronto goes up by 6. We've got 9:29 to go, and a critical game for the Timbermen that seems to be getting away from them. Gillen chases down the faceoff and has possession again for Toronto. Steve Fryer had started to run to the bench. I think he thought a penalty was coming, but nothing happened, so he just walks slowly back to his goal line. And Toronto sets up on 0 with 15 left on the shot clock. Critch, far side to Laidlaw. Cutting Gillies was open, but was past his shooting spot. So Gage Board, smart decision not to get it to him. And now we have a moving pick, or illegal pick, on Toronto, and Peterborough gets the ball. Wiles hands it off, and Croak looking for someone. Mickle gives it up immediately to Garland. Croak's got a lane, shoots, saved by Fryer. Trying to go 5-hole, but Fryer dropped into the butterfly and swallowed it up. Toronto's got a few seconds to get across the line. McLeod makes it. No, he doesn't. Just a little bit late. And Peterborough gets the ball going the other way. Nick Finley will pass it off to McWilliams. Croak loading it up again. Goes to McWilliams. He hands it off and goes to set a pick. McNulty shoots, arm save, goes right back to McNulty, but just grabbed by Gillen, and he sends Miles down alone. Armstrong is out, though, as one of the Peterborough forwards quickly got to the bench. That allowed Armstrong to get out and take away the transition chance. We're just under 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. The backpedaling Laidlaw gets to Grasby. And Seth Laidlaw rolls over the top. He's met there by Crow, knocks him down, but Laidlaw gets up, gets to Grasby, and he gets a fresh 30, picking up his own rebound. Toronto taking their time. Second possessions are absolutely killer to Peterborough right now, but great for Toronto as they try and take long possessions, let the clock eat up. Laidlaw with 10 on the shot clock. Nice little hinge pass, but it doesn't quite connect. Oh, there's a big hit by Armstrong. And we will have the officials' timeout. Play continues. A stumbling Laidlaw maintains his balance enough to get a shot off. Goes wide, though, and here come the Timbermen back the other way. Riley Martinell loses the ball, but it rolls right back into his stick. Garrett Lewis thought about shooting. Instead, he's going to throw it over center to nobody, and it'll be an over and back call. .5:42 to go. Ball bounces loose. Muse gets it back. Up to Teeter. And Seth Laidlaw, we'll see what he's got with Eric Schul one-on-one. Now Caravello comes to set a pick. Saved by Clayton as he clamps that arm down against the body. Finley running the floor. Armstrong gets across center. Croak to McWilliams. McWilliams rolls to the top, sidearm shot. Saved by Fryer. He's looking up the floor. He's got Miles. Miles has Muse off the bench. Looking for 6 again. Saved by Clayton. Cam Crow with the ball. Forecheck by Muse, but he gets away from it, and Crow flicks it ahead. Cam Garland sees Pelkey coming just before he lays the wood. I'm sure that's Matt Hodgins, number 10 today. There's a shot falling. It's the leaning Tower of Pisa shot by Garland. And Fryer stops that one, throws it up to McLeod. Oh, that pass looked like it was going to be picked off and actually bounces right back to McLeod. And eventually they get it to Seth Laidlaw with 10 seconds now on the shot clock. 4:07 to go here in the fourth quarter. Still a 6-goal lead for Toronto, 14-8. Pass across is just a bit too far back for Laidlaw to get away quickly. When he does shoot, Clayton's ready, and the Timbermen come back the other way. Lewis surveying everyone ahead of him. Decides none are really good options right away, so he'll give it off to Finley, and they'll set up the O. Wiles likes that shot, but misses. Reaches up, gets away from him. Here goes Caravello. Armstrong off the bench. Takes away the angle, and Toronto will slow it down. 3.5 to go. Toronto with 15 on the shot clock. No rush for them. That ball goes all the way into Clayton. As we enter the final 3 minutes of play, Armstrong battles over center. 3 minutes right now to go. McWilliams takes it. He's going to go. Shoots, saved by Fryer. He doesn't know where it is, but it's in his gear. And 3 teammates come to help make sure he's got a hold of it. There's a pickoff. Here come the Timbermen. Taking a look back is Martinell. Twister. Fryer gets just enough. Martinell looked to see if anybody was coming. Saw they weren't, so he went in on his own. Couldn't quite finish, though. Toronto taking their time. No urgency for them, obviously, to go to the net. Laidlaw ducks underneath. Goes to the net, dives, but he steps in the crease. Loading it up is Croak, but decides not to take the shot. Gillen gets out on him. Up top to Garland. 2 minutes to go here as Garland fires it. Arm save by Fryer. Caravello slows things down. Muse on the back door. Caravello's not going to pass it to him. There was a defender there. Brett Coons ready to take away the shot. Dunk attempt from behind. The air teeter doesn't quite work out. And Peterborough has possession in the final 90 seconds. McWilliams looking for a lane, passes over to Wiles. Our 3 stars today in this, what is going to be a Toronto Monarchs. Oh, a shot by McWilliams. Saved by the pipe as the crossbar denies McWilliams. They're going to say moving pick on Peterborough. And Toronto has possession. Muse, his 6th of the game. He's rammed into the boards, and he looks like he is banged up. He went hard into the boards, got a push. There's the long bounce pass, and Colton Armstrong just gives him a shove into the boards. So with the 2-minute checking from behind penalty to Colton Armstrong after the Muse goal, Toronto will have possession and the man advantage. They're up 5-on-4. They're spreading out. Doesn't look like they're going to make any effort to go to the net. Grasby bounces it back to Patrick Miles at the top. Gillen takes the pass and just walks over towards the boards. 15 left on the shot clock now. Remember today's second game of the doubleheader, Paris and Oshawa. 1 second on the shot clock. Toronto just lets it expire and Peterborough will get possession. The win today will move Toronto to 6-5, pulling them out of the pack. But the Oshawa Outlaws at 5-4 are playing the Paris River Wolves at 5-5 in today's second game. So whoever wins that will move into a tie. There's a gentle shot by Caleb Wiles on Steve Fryer, and he's just going to fling the ball down the floor, and that'll do it. Catch all the Arena Lacrosse League games on the Arena Lacrosse League site, arenalacrosseleague.ca, and JVI Sports Network's YouTube channel.